Welcome to the Curated Beauty Podcast. Jessica Christie here, a health and beauty enthusiast who became a medical practitioner to be the authority on how to enhance both your outer beauty and inner beauty for the most confident glow. Founding and owning a multi-million-dollar aesthetic medical practice in Michigan, my mission is to bring all the bi-coastal innovations to the fresh coast of Michigan. From which aesthetic treatment gives you the most bang for your buck to how to create systems to be both professionally fulfilled and still have freedom of time and relationships, we will be diving into it all. I want to discuss a topic of relevance in my industry, the aesthetic medicine space, and many other innovative spaces. The concept of authentic, spontaneous presence. In this super fast-paced world where we're often caught in the whirlwind, deadlines and meetings and obligations and distractions. I mean, talk about social media, how many times we spend just scrolling mindlessly. It's really crucial to just pause and reflect on the importance of living in the moment and embracing our authentic selves. I've really been thinking a lot about the whole concept of shedding identities that have been placed on us. And this can happen from your family members that you love, spouses, just self-comparison, institutions of education, just systems, community. I mean, you have a lot of noise coming at you all the time. And so if you really bring awareness to, okay, these are the things, these are the thoughts. Are these my thoughts? Are these authentically me, or are they from someone else? And so I really want to talk about what authentic, spontaneous presence is and break it down a little bit. I want to share the whole concept of authenticity, spontaneity separately, how they go together, and share some examples in my life of how I was really able to actually tap into this. So maybe you can learn a little bit from this and avoid my hardships that really made me learn this. But also I will share with you that anything that has happened in my life that's really hard and I didn't know how I was going to get through it, that is where the most beautiful fruit has blossomed and how I've actually tapped into this concept. And we'll talk a little bit about that whole concept of leaning into hard things too. So authentic, spontaneous presence is the ability to really truly be present and engaged and connected to ourselves and the people that we welcome into our life and the surroundings. And this is really important key, okay? It's when you do that without the interference of how other people are going to judge you or what expectations they have on you or what are the societal pressures or how should you be speaking or interacting. And it's really, truly, guys, the key to living a fulfilling, meaningful life. Nurturing relationships, having freedom of purpose, achieving genuine happiness. Life is short. And I really have thought a lot about approaching 40. I know I'm still so young, but I just think if you can tap into that earlier, go for it. So first, let's talk about the meaning of authenticity. To be authentic is to be true to oneself. You're recognizing and honoring thoughts that are yours and emotions that are yours, your desires without any shame or pretense. And when you really look at that, you're going to notice the noise that is coming in and where are those themes and concepts of shame coming in from? It's not from you. Authenticity fosters self-awareness, self-acceptance, and ultimately self-love. And it's the cornerstone of really our emotional well-being and allowing us to embrace the wholeness of who we are and who we're created to be and what path we're on. That clear path for our purpose is open because and only when you align with who you are and what your true motivators are. I remember we took an Enneagram training, which I highly recommend for your team. I really tapped into the fact that the way that we all behave and what personality type we have is based on our motivators. So when you look at that, it really leads us on a path of self-discovery of who we are and what we want to do in this lifetime. And we're just bringing awareness to that. And then spontaneity, on the other hand, is really just the ability to respond to the ever-changing circumstances. We all have free will. Life should be welcomed with openness and curiosity and flexibility. And yes, even in the hard times, let go of control and embrace the uncertainty. And knowing that life is going to throw all these unpredictable moments at you and experiences, and not living in that in fear and anxiety, but just knowing that you are investing in you to have the tools to be able to handle things and to immediately, in a snap decision, know what your response is to the situation. So I'm going to share with you vulnerably, I really got exposed to this concept when my business accidentally grew so fast. I never meant to have it be that large. I told myself, I just want to make enough money to support the income that I was making at my other job and to have a little bit more freedom of purpose and time. Knew zero things about actually running a business. And really that hit me hard when I found out that several of my team members were going to leave and go start their own business. And I just was so crushed and hurt and angry. You go through stages of grief. And even though it is the best thing that has happened to me, one of the most defining cornerstones of my path, at that time, it felt really bad. And I went through stages of grief and I had a choice. I could either identify, okay, what is my onus in this and how can I be a better leader? I just thought if I had hands-off approach, let them live their lives, paid them the most money that I could, really for industry standards, the most money in this industry, people are always like, what were you doing? I just thought that if I were generous, that was enough. And I really found out that that wasn't the case. So you also could then look at the situation that I went through as it being something that happened to me and how horrible. And, this is just all them. And I really utilized the concept of thinking in the box versus out of the box. And I was thinking in the box at that point when I was really, looking at them as, wow, that's so hurtful. Why would they do that? And when I really learned the concept of thinking outside of the box, I thought, no, that's thinking inside of the box. Like I am the problem because I'm not looking at how can I grow out of this situation. Back to the whole concept of the blue pill and the red pill from the Matrix. And, the thought of, is life happening to you or is it happening for you? And the main character, Neo, there's a part in the movie where he's offered a choice between taking the blue pill and continuing to live in a simulated reality, comfortable, familiar illusion of what life is. Everything's predetermined. There's just this path, very controlled external forces, and you're just continuing living life as it is without questioning it. Or he could take the red pill, which is awakening to the truth of the world and joining this rebellion against this whole predetermined life. And the uncomfortable truth and realization that the reality that we perceive is not what we thought it was. So by taking the red pill, Neo, I'm sorry if that's a spoiler alert if you haven't seen The Matrix, but if you haven't, I don't know when you would be watching it because it's an older movie, but it's him choosing to embrace the unknown and take control of his own destiny, even if it means facing difficulties and challenges. And this can be applied to our life. And especially in this circumstance for me, I could have looked at it and thought, wow, this life happened to me, like this bad situation happened to me, shame on them, or, blaming them. Or I can really think about it like, I'm going to accept this and take responsibility for my life and make changes to improve it. And moving through that has been one of the most crucial, pivotal parts of beauty culture, my business. And I think that we are on a trajectory now because of that situation that is so massively going to put us on the mark in terms of being a very influential business that will be an example to other people, encourage them to live authentically and spontaneously. So I just really think that this is up to us to really lean into these concepts and these ideas. And I think when we combine these two elements of authenticity and spontaneity, we're creating a powerful synergy that allows us to be fully immersed in who we are and present in the moment and what it's teaching us and telling us. This is not only important for being a business owner, but also in personal lives. And it's liberating and also transformative. It helps us break free from, honestly, chains and shackles of social conditioning and self-doubt and years of being told messages that probably don't apply to who we really are. just really critically thinking about things in a whole different way. And I just think that this concept is something that makes our business and our team attractive. People want to know what we're doing and how we're doing it. And this is what it's all about. So I just wanted to bring some awareness to this. If you guys don't know how to start looking into authenticity and really looking at the whole red pill versus blue pill concept, I think the best thing to do is start putting pen to paper. Look at some of the messages and some of the themes and some of the identities that you are carrying around. If you're saying, I'm just a negative person, or I'm a pessimist, or I'm not beautiful, or I can't, or I'm not smart enough, where are you hearing those things from? Who's telling you that? Is that who you are, or is that what life has conditioned you to be? What if you start identifying with some other positive things, or just stripping it all and starting over and just sitting with mind stimulating music? Like literally go in your phone, type in brain stimulating music, sit with some candles in an environment that is quiet and your mind can just be, and let the pen drive you. Just start with a probing concept like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Look at that. Read it. What does that mean? So I hope that this enlightens your day. I hope it brings you a new perspective, and I hope it leads you down a path of the blue pill rather than the red, on a path of awareness and thinking about things in a different way. And hopefully it makes you think about, gosh, I'm going to take that red pill all day long because life is too short and I don't want to live that blue pill life in that path anymore. Congratulations, you have done it. You've reached the end of an episode on the Curated Beauty Podcast and have enriched a part of your self-care by discovering something new. I hope this time together added a little perspective to your day and will ultimately boost your confidence and give you the strength to do all the hard things. As we walk through this journey together, follow our Curated Beauty Podcast. And if this resonated with you, share it with a friend, save the episode, and also follow our social media platforms in the show notes. We love to engage with our listeners on all levels.